We continue on to discuss Argentina. They defeated Canada in the opening match of Copa America. Um, they got past the Canadian national team in a 2-0 result to open up this Copa America with 3 points. Um, uh, Not the most entertaining game. I think we got spoiled by the European Championship and how entertaining the European Championships were. But at the end of the day, Argentina got the job done. They were the better team. They had a lot more opportunities, in my opinion, to make this more than a 2-0 game, especially near down the end. Messi had a lot of opportunities early on the game. They really could have made this game much more comfortable if they were able to take advantage of the one-on-one transition opportunity they have after the Canadian corner kick with Di Maria not being able to get the ball past Crepo. But yeah, overall, professional victory by Argentina. Not the most scintillating football, not the kind of football that we saw from them in that first 70 minutes that we saw when they took on France in the World Cup final. But again, as I said, a professional victory. A few moments of quality with Messi playing balls in behind. You saw Julian Alvarez, the verticality he gives to get on the end of one, and then Lautaro Martinez. He also gives you a little bit of verticality. He gives you off the bench. I thought there was a chance that maybe he might have started this game just based on the amazing form he had at the European, in the Serie A, but he comes off the bench. But I think the critical part about it was that he's able to get back on the score sheet for Argentina at a major tournament, and his confidence is up. I think he can be a huge, deadly factor for this Argentina national team. I think he's the best 9 that they have, despite him being on the bench. I think it's out of respect for Julian Alvarez, just based on what he was able to do for Argentina at the World Cup and the trust that he's built with Scaloni. But a lot of you remember Lautaro Martinez actually started that World Cup as the starter in that first opening game against Saudi Arabia. Eventually, he ended up getting replaced because of his mediocre performances, and then the confidence went down, and he just had an abysmal World Cup. But we know the kind of player he is when his confidence is high, and now that he's able to get in the goal sheet for Argentina, I believe that this could be a pathway for him to start gaining the trust of Lionel Scaloni back in. Maybe we see him potentially back into the starting lineup. Maybe you can fit him and Julian Alvarez. It'll be interesting to see that. But I think Lautaro Martinez scoring for Argentina is a huge, huge deal that not many people is talking about. Because if he can get his form for Argentina right, and he can be a factor for them, if he's back to his best, he is a major, major factor, not just for Argentina, but for this entire Copa America, because he's the kind of player that can swing Argentina from, a favorite, yes, but like a clear runaway favorite that no team has a realistic shot to get past them at this Copa America. Now, it's clear that Messi, I'm not going to give him an excuse in rust because he has been playing recently for Inter Miami, but it's clear that he's not really up to this level at this point right now. He seemed a little slow. He seemed like he had a little bit too much time. There was a few easy opportunities he had in behind that he just couldn't get it right in terms of finishing. There's certain times that he kind of thinks that he has more time than he really does. Maybe playing in MLS, and how horrible MLS is defensively, programmed Messi into, thinking he has more time than he does. So I think it's going to take him a game, maybe second game, to really get back to his level. But I have no doubts over him. He's going to be back to what Messi is really, really soon, and he's going to dominate this Copa America. I think even in this game, he had a few moments of magic. He had a ball in the first half all the way across the field from one end to the other. It beat like 4 or 5 defenders, then mostly through the air, but it was a sublime pass. And then he had, in my opinion, he was the main creator of the 2 goals. The first goal, he plays a nice, clever ball in behind. Didn't get the assist because McAllister didn't finish it, but McAllister's rebound fell into Alvarez's pass. And then the second goal played a nice little clever ball. Really an easy ball for a guy of the caliber of Messi, but was able to play in Lautaro Martinez from behind, and that made it second. But I'm not really concerned about Messi. Uh, you know, this is Messi is Messi. He's the greatest, and he's still one of the most talented players in the world. No doubt about it. I don't think I wouldn't take anybody in terms of the front three, in terms of attacking wise ahead of him. He just needs to get back to this level of speed. He needs to get used to this level of speed again. And once he's able to do that, I think he's gonna prove he's still the best player at this Copa America. As far as Canada, they had a few opportunities that they're gonna rule. After this game, Kyle Larin had a few opportunities. Jonathan David had a good header. Tajon Buchanan, he had an opportunity where he couldn't just really set his feet and hips right, and really it looked embarrassing live. But if you could tell that it just his balance was off. But the main thing about that really was disappointing is he didn't really need to try that half, not even a half chance, but like a 10% chance type of play to try to sneak it into the near post. He had a Jonathan David that was coming in. He could have squared it and give him an opportunity. Now, there was another opportunity Jonathan David had that ricocheted off an Argentina defender, blocked. But yeah, Canada had some chances in this game, and they had some chances in this game early to make it 1-0. That could have, really put Argentina in a trouble place, being down 1-0. And having to open up, and now you have the pace of guys like Alphonso Davies. I think Alphonso Davies had a very good game, really attacking from that left-hand side. He had a few chances where he was able to get in behind Argentina, square in a few balls, couldn't get the right connection, couldn't get the right final ball, and it wouldn't get it through. But I thought Canada did have some opportunities. Defensively, they looked very open, especially when they were chasing that game. Near the end, they had they left a lot of opportunities out there for Argentina. And, even that first half with that first opportunity off the corner kick with this Jesse Marsch kind of play of playing really, really high and being really open and really going for it. You leave yourself susceptible in the back certain periods. But overall, I didn't think the performance was horrible from them. I thought they had their few opportunities. I thought Johnston was pretty good. Davies was good. Kyle Larin and Jonathan David, they just need to be more clinical, especially going up against these better teams. But I definitely think, based on this performance, I still think they will get out of the group. I don't think Peru and Chile will be able to, I think Canada have a legitimate opportunity going into those two games to say, oh, we are getting out of this group. We are a better team than these two teams. I think they have every opportunity to get the result. They haven't scored a goal with Jesse Marsch yet. And, excluding that first performance, I think it's been pretty okay. You started off your first three performances or first three games under Jesse Marsch are against the Netherlands, the French, and Argentina. That's three difficult teams. That's a Netherlands team that reached the quarterfinals of the World Cup that only ended up getting eliminated by the World Cup champion. And then you got the two teams that played in the World Cup final. So now I think there is more than fair to say that there's going to be a significant drop-off in terms of level of competition now with these next two games going up against Peru and Chile that are really, really been not that good, really been suffering in CONMEBOL World Cup qualifiers up to this point. They're two teams in that bottom 3-4 area. So I think Canada goes into these games confident in their ability. I think they need to be aggressive. They need to play with no fear in terms of playing high line, trying to win the ball high up the field, and really taking advantage with the pace that they have in transition. And they could be a not deadly outfit, but they could get out of this group. They could definitely get out of this group, and they should get out of this group.